Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. In this video, I'm showing you how to make this layered papercraft truck for the 4th of July. This patriotic design is free to download from my website, so let's find out where to go to get it.
You can download the free cutting file for this project at craftwithsarah.com/free-svgs or follow the link in the description of this video to go straight to the download page. The download comes in a zip folder and you need to unzip this before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, it's time to get the SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Open up Design Space and start a new project, and then get into Upload over on the left, and then Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find the file on your computer, or drag and drop it in. Make sure you choose the unzipped version of the folder, and then the file you want is the one which starts SVG in the file name. I'll click and drag that in, and it should look like this with all of the pieces one on top of the other. If yours looks different and you see all the bits next to each other instead, that means you've accidentally uploaded the wrong file type. So if that's the case, click Cancel down here on the bottom, try again and make sure you choose the one which starts SVG. Press Upload, and then the design will appear in your recent uploads. Click on it to get the green border, and then press Add to Canvas. This is what it looks like, and you can see all of the layers and pieces down here on the right hand side. To resize the design, first make sure the padlock icon on the top of the width and the height boxes is closed once you've clicked onto the design. You can then choose either the width or the height, and the other one will change in proportion. For example, if I put 9.5 inches in here and press the Enter key on my keyboard, you see the height also changed too. I'm not going to do anything else to this, I'm just going to cut it out exactly as is. To do that, click on Make It over on the top right, and this will separate out all the pieces onto their different colours. You can change the paper size in here, I'm going to go for A4. Now, Design Space has put this bit on another sheet. I'm wondering if I could probably fit it all onto one. To do this, find the image that you want to move, click the three little dots, and then go to Move Object. Make sure you click on the same colour of card, and then press Confirm. This has moved it over here, but at the moment this is no good because it's on top of the other piece. So I need to move things about so that nothing's touching. I've also got these little stars and the firework, which I need to move too. But there we go, now nothing's overlapping and it's all fitting on one sheet of card. Don't worry that there's now an empty bit here, that will go away once you click Continue. Go ahead and get all of your paper colours set to the size you want and everything positioned where you want it to go. Note that you'll need 2 shades of blue and 2 shades of red for this project. When you're happy with how it's all looking, press Continue to connect to your Cricut machine, then follow the on-screen instructions to get everything cut out from cardstock.
Here's my truck all cut out, and I've layered all the bits one on top of the other to check that I'm happy with the design and the colours and that I haven't accidentally missed anything. Now, this design has an awful lot of little pieces in it, and one thing I get asked quite a lot is how to kind of make it a little bit easier when you're sticking everything together. And I have to say that one of the things that is the most kind of important is to be crafting with good lighting. Good lighting doesn't necessarily mean you have to be sat by a window on a summer's day. There are lots of different products that you can get to help improve your lighting and make your crafting easier. One of these is a dedicated light or lamp which you can move around your craft area and set the brightness based on when you're crafting, what time of day it is, and also move the light around so it best shines on the project you're working on.
I struggle a bit with lighting when I'm crafting. It's fine when I'm filming my projects for my YouTube videos as I'm under professional camera lights, but I don't always want to be sat in my studio area. BenQ recently sent me one of their tabletop lights to test out, and I have to say I love it. It was really easy to put together out of the box. All I had to do was screw on the base. The base is heavy, which means I'm not in danger of knocking the light over. It's an LED light, which means that you don't need to buy separate light bulbs. It's an attractive design and doesn't take up much space on my desk, which is important as I usually fill up every available spot with craft supplies. It's really flexible, so you can change the direction the light is pointing in and how much it overhangs over your workspace. It can even be used to light up computer monitors too, to make it easier to see the screens. You can switch between a white light, a yellow light, and several in-between settings. You can also change the brightness by turning the dial on top. Look at how my craft project changes as I'm turning the dial. I've got quite bad eyesight, I'm short-sighted, and I find it hard to craft in low light. The BenQ desk lamp makes it so much easier. The light is really long, which means it lights up a larger area than a traditional light bulb. I've even been using it to help me see better when I'm putting on my makeup, and it does a great job at that too. Overall, I think this is a great crafting lamp and I recommend it. But now, let's get back to making our 4th of July truck.
Let's start making our 4th of July truck. We need to start at the bottom and work our way upwards, so I'm going to move all the bits apart in a moment. To stick the truck together, we're going to be using a combination of glue and foam squares. The glue I'm using is called Collall. I really like it because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the cardstock like some glues can do, and I put it into these needle tip applicator bottles that I buy on Amazon. They've got really thin nozzles on them, which makes it super easy to get the glue into all the different places. For the foam squares, I'm using these ones. They're quite small, which is good for this design. If yours are bigger, then you can cut them smaller with a pair of scissors to fit. Alright, so I'm going to try and move this apart now, whilst keeping some of the bits at least vaguely in position to make it easier to stick together. So all of these smaller bits will come off, and then they're the same. And then there we go. So I'm just left with these 2 bits. And for this layer, it's optional. You can either glue it or use your foam squares. I'm going to use my foam squares for it. I want this to have lots of dimension on it. I've put my foam squares around the outside, but I also want to put some in the middle bit of these big sections. That's because if there were no foam squares in these bits, you might find that your cardstock domes downwards like this, or sags under the weight of itself, and we want it to be nice and sturdy and straight to give the best 3D effect possible. So that is looking good. I'm actually going to try... I've got some foam squares that I've cut in half to go inside that flag bit to keep that nice and strong. And now I can peel the tops off of the foam squares to reveal all of the stickiness underneath. Okay, now this can go on top of my base layer. It's a bit flimsy because of that flag, so be careful when you're sticking it on that doesn't accidentally touch and stick somewhere it's not meant to go. Okay, so I'm going to line it up and then gently drop it down without actually putting any pressure on it yet. This little bit of the rocket is another delicate point. And that looks okay. Everything appears to be lined up correctly. So I'm going to push down to seal. Because I'd only just dropped it down, it means that if I hadn't quite got everything lined up, I could have picked it up and moved it again without causing any damage. The next layer we've got is this white one here. And I think I'm going to use some foam squares on this one. Give it a bit of pop. There's all that done. So now this can go on top. And again, I'm going to line it up and carefully drop it down without actually putting any pressure on it yet. I'm getting stuck to my fingers. That's looking good, so I'll push down to seal. Next is the blue, which makes up the front of the track, and this will be a glue layer. This truck works a little bit different to my other ones. Normally with the trucks, we sort of build up the front and the back of the truck separately, as separate pieces. But on this one, we've got the front of the truck also making up this back section. So it's going to look a little bit different. The back is going to pop out more than the front of the truck. But I think that's going to look okay. We'll see in a minute. Sometimes it's good to experiment and see different effects on different designs. Okay. Carefully line that up. This one is quite flimsy with little pieces, so be careful with it. Okay, that's looking good. Right, next we have all these fireworks to go in the back. Starting with this layer here, which will be a glue layer to add the outline to that big rocket. Drop that into place. I've got my finger stuck in the glue. Today is the day for getting myself stuck to things. Oh dear. Right, there's that one. Next, we've got this one, which is going to add those rockets to the front, and I'm going to glue this one too. Most of these will be glued because I don't want the rockets coming out too much further than the front of the truck. And also because they're showing through thin little details in the rockets to build up all the patterns and shapes. If I was to use my foam squares, you'd get so much shadowing in these gaps that you wouldn't really be able to make it out. So for that reason, this white piece is also a glue layer. And this is making up some more of the rockets and also the white in the flag at the top. There we go. Be very careful with this one, and you can see that flag has a mind of its own. Okay. One more big bit left, which is the stars, and then the front of that last rocket. Beautiful. Okay, onto this bit now. And again, I'm going to glue this orange bit on to be the sides of the truck. It's getting quite thick now with all these pieces. There is that one. And then I'm also going to glue this bit to the top because of what I was saying earlier about the shadowing. If you use foam squares where there's just little cutouts, it would be too much and we wouldn't actually see it. But also it's going to work out well because I use foam squares for the ones on the front of the truck, and then the height should just about match with the back because of all the depth we've got from all these pieces of card. And then I've got the little firework bit to go on there, which I will pop out with some foam squares. Ta-da! Okay, onto the front of the truck. This bit I'll do with my foam. Don't need very many pieces now. Oops. There. And then glue this one on top. I've just realised I missed a bit, look. It was white on my white desk and I didn't see it. Oh, right, okay, I'm going to take this off. Luckily my foam came off pretty easy, and glue this white bit on. That was almost almost a crisis, but managed to avert it. Stick this on again now. Which way round does it go? Oh, this is hard to line up. I think it's that way. No, that's not right. That way. There we go. Okay. There, that looks better. Right, now back onto the front of the truck. Grab my glue. Let's just carry on as if nothing happened. That one on there. And now we've just got the two little middles of the wheels. I will glue the orange bits on. And I haven't decided about the stars yet. You could do either. They're quite small, so if you've got bigger foam pads, you might want to glue them. I think I can probably get away with foaming them. Let's see. It might look weird. Give it a try. I think that looks good. There. That is my 4th of July truck all finished. If I turn it around, you can see some of the dimension in there. That is looking lovely, and it's all ready for your 4th of July celebrations. And if you want even more trucks, check out my website. I'll drop the link in the description. But I have over 10 different themed trucks for all different occasions. There's Valentine's Day, there is Christmas, Halloween, fall, summer, flowers, gosh, all sorts. There's even an empty one for you to add your own details into the back. Pretty much whatever you can think of, there should be a truck for it. St. Patrick's Day, Easter, there's a couple more. So yeah, go ahead and check those out if you like this design. And I will also be adding some more in the next couple of months. We've got a wedding truck coming up and also a tropical kind of summer Hawaiian themed truck as well, which is one that's actually been requested a few times. So yeah, we will be trucking on forever, but for now, our little 4th of July one is all finished. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this layered papercraft truck for the 4th of July. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut tutorials and free SVGs. And I've got more patriotic 4th of July designs coming out very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!